I love printing. I love printing. I love it. I love printing.
Hey, everybody. Want to welcome you back to another session with me, Warren Werbitt. Today we have a guest, very fortunate guest. I'd refer to him as one of my newest, bestest friends. And we have Jamie McLennan. Jamie, welcome.
Good morning. Good morning, Werbitt. Thanks for having me on. This is awesome.
Tell us who you are. Tell us where you're from. Tell us what you do.
I am Jamie the printer, Jamie McLennan. I've been in printing since I was 18 years old, learned how to print in high school, learned how to run presses, strip jobs, film, the whole wheel, ran printing presses up to 40-inch Heidelbergs. And then our company was going through some changes. We were growing, we had more work. It was great. We got a new press in, we moved into a bigger building. And you know what that's like with your growing and whatever. And then you get a bigger building, you get more equipment. It seems like you're slow. You're still doing the same amount of work, but now you have more capacity. So one day I was like, what if I just go in the office and make some phone calls? And the owner of the company was like, what, are you kidding me? I'm like, yeah, I can do that. I'm like, I'll run a job while it's drying, or at lunchtime, I'll go make phone calls for an hour and see what we can do. A couple of days later, they came back and they're like, are you serious? I was like, sure, let's start this. So that's how I started. And I mean, I ran presses, did all that, helping bindery. And then I just kind of jumped into sales. One of the sales guys there was a great mentor. Actually, I still work with him now. We've been at 2 different companies together, and it just took off. The customers loved that I was authentic. They came on press checks. I was the pressman and the guy in the press check room going over the job with them. They would come out and press. I'm on press. They would call up and say, hey, we know you're on press. As soon as you get done that job, come over and we have a project to go over. And I'd be like, all right. And I'd run into my office, change into a suit and tie, run over. And then after a while, we got to know each other with a couple customers like, stop changing, just come over in your shorts, whatever you're wearing. We don't care. We need to get this job done. So it was, I had a lot of fun, and I've always tried to keep it that way.
Awesome.
I've always said I love what I do. Ink is in my veins. It's been that way.
Hey, first of all, how old are you?
I am 53.
Okay, I'm 54, and I said ink was in my veins first, so I just want to clarify that.
You probably did. I didn't do that until I started Twitter.
I said it. Okay, so I said it first in a video in 2008, so I got you on that one.
You got me. Yes,
I don't think you mentioned the company that you work for.
The company I work for is DMR Graphics. DMR Graphics is a screen printing company and flatbed company. So we have the latest, newest Swiss Q print that does all kinds of cool stuff. Prints super quick, does drop gloss, can do all that. White inks, we do a bunch of different things with that. We have a Fuji, and then we have 5 different screen presses where we print everything from, as you can see behind me, Jazz Fest concert posters that happen every year. We've been doing, I think this is
not this year.
Yeah, we are. We did it last year. And
did you?
Yeah.
Cool.
First year that sold out, and they didn't even have a show.
No kidding.
Yeah, they sold every single poster.
I was going to say, send me a couple, but we could talk later. That's cool.
Then screen printing, we do it 1 color at a time, 19 colors. It's on press for months. Yes.
How big is that screen press?
It's that press is 2840. It's just like a sheet fed screen press. So it kind of feeds like an Heidelberg, goes through a cylinder, screen presses, then goes through a 40-foot tunnel that dries it. So it's kind of neat.
Probably cheaper than a Heidelberg too.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. A little bit, eh?
So that's what we do here. We also have our parent company in New Jersey where we do all cut sheet digital. We have 5-color Heidelbergs, 4 2-color Heidelbergs, large format, all the kit packing capability. So kind of have the best of both worlds. I can kind of do cut sheet digital, variable, offset, screen, large format, roll, and in 2 locations. And I help with our DMR location over here in Conshohocken, Pennsylvania, just outside Philadelphia.
So it sounds to me like you don't get too excited about what you do, and you don't really know what you have or what's going on there.
No.
That's pretty cool.
Not
okay, so
I'm like a kid in a playground because somebody calls me, I'm like, I can do that. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like,
I get it. Like, have you tasted any like LED ink these days? It's a lot better than the conventional, right?
Yes.
It goes down a little like looser and doesn't stick as hard.
There you go. Yeah.
The pigments are broken up more finely. So what is it about print that you love so much? What is it that ignites you? And okay, 3 questions. And what is it that just keeps you going? Okay, you go. I shut up.
It's just, I don't know. It's funny because I just love what I do. I love getting a job. I mean, when I was in high school, I learned how to run presses in high school, but I also loved doing screen printing and I loved drawing and drawing and designing. I started to kind of dabble in back then before like Macs were even a thing, like pre-press stuff. And I'm like, I just like the artist side of it, and being able to take somebody's creation, put ink on paper, kind of made me feel like I was an artist in some way. I'm taking their vision, putting it on paper, putting on plastic or whatever it is. And it kind of, I can't do it, but I could do it on a press. So it kind of made me feel like I was an extension of them. So it was kind of cool. And I kind of take that passion with me when I go to a meeting and go to see people, and like I bring samples with them and they give them a story about this is how we did this job and this is how we did this job. I had a customer that wanted to do a mailing with a mirror on it, on 10,000 pieces, and hand glue a mirror on it. And they're like, I'm like, and they needed it in 4 days. I showed them that we had a mirror paper that we could print on on a digital indigo press with white ink, and it looked like a mirror, and we got it done in 4 days, and their heads blew off. And that just feeds me to go to the next meeting and go, hey, look what we just did. This is awesome. How can I make this job for you? And they were like, not yet, but we're going to plan on something for it. So every day, it's something new in this business every day, even though it's ink on paper or ink on plastic or acrylic. There's something new every day, which just keeps me going.
My goal always has been in print is to print samples and go drop them off. Nothing excites me more than watching people's expressions and faces when they're looking or doing something. So we would do the apple, and I'd go to a meeting and lay out a big poster on the table, and as people were sitting there, when you rub the apple, a genie would come out. No, when you rub the apple, the scent would kick in, and then it would start to smell. And oh my God, the smell of a green apple is really nice. But the whole meeting, people are sitting there and rubbing it and doing this and doing that, or you put a soft touch sample on the table.
Nothing better than
and it's like, and the whole meeting, like I would just be sitting there and smiling, and I'm like, buddy, you're gonna let go of the paper, you're gonna wear it out. And they're like, oh, sorry. But that's the stuff.
Yes,
right?
It is.
When you go going. And you could watch people get excited by it.
No, I used to have an owner a couple years ago. He'd be like, why do you take the samples when the job's done? I'm like, that's the best part. When you go there with a pack of samples and give them what they're looking for, and the job's done, everything's complete, they get the samples, they sign the check, and the job's over, and they're happy, they're grinning. You walk out, you're the best person in the world. And like, they came through, they got the job done, it's perfect. That's the best part.
What's your best part of the day?
Best part of the day is in the morning when I get in and it's quiet, and I can kind of get my thoughts together, check over what I've got to do for the day. Who am I contacting? Just that early morning, just getting ready, getting set for the day. It's usually my best part.
Do you have other people? I know you told me you have a great team, but that's not what I'm asking. Do you have other people that make you feel the way you feel about print on your team?
Yeah. Owner of our company.
Oh my God. So hang on. I got to stop you. I am so happy to hear you say the owner of your company first, right? Because in all the talking that I've been doing, and I've been talking a lot, the one thing I've always said, in any great company, it starts at the top. And if the stuff doesn't roll down from the top with the right attitude, it can't happen. So my take from what you just said is your boss, what's his name? We'll give him a shout out.
David.
Does David have a last name, or he's like Madonna? David.
Just David. David Kovacs.
So David, thank you, David. And now I know Jamie's going to make you watch the video, but thank you for your attitude, because if you didn't have that attitude, Jamie's attitude probably wouldn't be as good as it is. My take is that David gives you enough tools and flexibility to be you and do what you do. Because in a lot of companies, what I've said in a lot of companies is if people don't feel it from the owner and it doesn't pass down, the people below cannot do and be as happy and live as freely. So then the other thing is, and just because I'm a Jamie fan, David, before we talk, I think maybe you should consider making Jamie a partner and finding a way to bring him in, because if I had Jamie, I would do everything I could to make sure that he never leaves.
Thank you for the shout out.
And that, by the way, that's just truly what I believe. And if you don't want to make him an owner, just give him an upside without any of the potential liabilities that you live with. How's that, Jamie?
There you go. I'm just happy that you had me on here because I've watched a couple of your pieces and they're exciting. You always have great questions, and I will definitely share it with my my 3 followers that I have, and then we'll get 3 more for you. So hopefully it'll help. And yeah, just it's awesome that somebody that you've watched from afar, knowing them on video and stuff, that reaches out and says, "Hey, would you like to do this video with me?" You're like, "Sure, that's awesome. Why do you even know me?" Other, that's kind of cool. So I mean, I follow along, and I'm looking forward to seeing all the chats you have with everybody.
I love print. Jamie loves print. I hope you
Yes.
love print. If you don't love print, you better start to love print. If you're watching this and you're watching it on What They Think, keep watching What They Think. If you're watching this on my YouTube channel, please subscribe. Go to my YouTube channel, Warren Werbitt, subscribe. I have 183 subscribers. My goal is 1,000 in the next month. So everybody help me out. All that to say, Jamie, thank you. Stay healthy, stay fresh, stay vibrant with your colors. Warren Werbitt, I love print.